Welcome to the Ref Show. Carlton Palmer makes a welcome reappearance this week, along with Roger the Beard Dilkes. Roger, you should have been here a few weeks ago when we were discussing the FA's recommendation for officials not to have beards. But you mistimed that one, so we've got other things to talk about, including some big match incident over the weekend, some controversy, but also some very good performances. Just let's kick off with those. We're obviously going to come to the Mersey derby in a bit, but the Sunday action. Arsenal 2, Manchester City 2. What a great game. And Guy Beale, blogging the game for youartheref.com, one of the best performances I've seen in the Premier League this season. He meant the referee, Andre Marriner.
Yes, Andre had a superb game. I think, as Guy said in the blog, not the swiftest around the field of play, but loads of experience, which put him into really good viewing positions for the whole of the game. Yeah. Used his experience well, used his man management skills well, and when big decisions need to be made, he made them. The net result is he got a lot of respect off the players, and the game was a tremendous game, and he played his part.
Yeah, it was great to see a referee being involved in a low-profile way in a 4-goal thriller like that, Carl.
Yeah, but I think also the players helped.
Yeah.
I mean, the players can make it easier or harder for the referee. The players helped. Both sides wanted to play football. They wanted to get on with it. So it made the referee's job a little bit easier.
And Swansea 0, Middlesbrough 0. We'll skate over that one, apart from to say that Bobby Madley, who's very much in form, had another good game.
Yeah, awful game of football. Yeah. Everybody frightened to death of making a mistake. And Bobby had all that to contend with, and I thought he came out of it well.
He's the star man in a goalless draw.
He did well.
Okay, Liverpool 3, Everton 1, full of drama. Again, very entertaining. You'd have thought for the neutral. Now, there's a school of thought that referees should set their tolerance level slightly different for a derby, and Anthony Taylor appeared to do that, and it's somewhat rebounded on him. Do you think, Roger, or what?
Well, it has, but I think from a coaching point of view, we would say, listen, you referee the game and not the occasion. And there were early signs in this particular game that he was refereeing the occasion. There were two early on in the game, which week in, week out, are straightforward cautions. He chose not to caution Klein, and then we had the challenge by Barkley. As soon as Barkley challenged Khan, which was a straightforward yellow card, he had Everton players round him to say, well, you didn't caution Klein over there, and he got talked out of it even if he was going to caution him.
That was the Emirates challenge incident, and later he was given a yellow card for, the challenge on Dejan Lovren. You tell us about that one, Carlton.
Well, it's a straightforward red. I thought he was too far away. And so I don't think he saw the full impact of the challenge. It's a straightforward red. I thought he should have been booked before that, Barkley, and that for me is a straightforward red. I think what you've got to be careful in a derby game, right? It's a big occasion, but what you've got to do is the first challenge that is a bookable challenge. You've got to give the card, because that then sets the precedent. If you'd have booked Klein, everybody knows, right. And it was a bookable offence, right? It sets the tone for the rest of the game. Because he didn't do that, he doesn't book Barkley for the challenge because he feels he can't. He's been talked out of it because Lukaku was over there pointing to the challenge that Klein made. And then all of a sudden, the game's running away from him. It wasn't a nasty game. It wasn't a game full of bad challenges, but there was certainly... I think Everton were lucky to finish with 11. They should have had two players sent off.
Well, sage nods of the head there from Roger Dilkes, and certainly there were other things as well. Ashley Williams of Everton stood on Emre Can at one point. That wasn't seen. It was only seen by the cameras.
I watched that again. I didn't think that was deliberate.
Right.
He was really close to him when he made the challenge. Yeah. And as he's gone down, what's he supposed to do? I mean, you've got to be careful. I know Ashley Williams personally, so I know he wouldn't stamp on a player anyhow, but his momentum, he's right close to the player. The player goes down in front of him. What's he supposed to do? I don't think that was a deliberate stamp.
Okay, well, you'll know probably by the time some of you watch this whether or not the FA have looked at that. So we can't really speculate on that. Lee Probert, you won't have heard that name too often on this programme because he had a spell out injured. He's been refereeing the English Football League for most of this season, but he had a return to the Premier League, so it was a big game for him. I don't see him mentioned at all in Watford 1, Sunderland 0 in the reports I've read, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Welcome back, Lee Probert. He's a referee with bags of experience, and at this moment in time, I'm sure the Premier League are delighted to get him back, at the business end of the season.
Yeah, they need him, as they need Stuart Atwell, who we've commented on several times, has had this resurgence and maintained it in Spurs' 2-0 win at Burnley. Yeah. Not all in the garden is rosy. We're going to look in part 2 at a big penalty decision that went wrong and then went right for the referee in the South Coast derby. Certainly wrong to award a penalty, but it was missed. So a get out of jail on that one. One or two key incidents in the Championship, including one of your former clubs, Leeds United, Carlton Palmer. But certain television programmes might have you believe that all is rosy in the garden. At youartheref.com, we try to present a balanced view and give praise where due, and we give criticism where due and explain kind of how referees got things wrong. One notable TV programme might have given the impression that everything was well, Roger.
Well, yes, it did come across in that way, and I think that here at You Are The Ref, we have a history of bringing incidents to the attention of our audience, and we also explain why we're making that criticism, and from the laws of the game point of view, we explain if there's been errors or not. But even more than that, we suggest to the referees through our media the sort of things they should be looking at to put those errors right. And that's what we're about. We're about education. So let's not forget that. Yeah,
it's not just pointing the finger, but it's about what that referee could have done differently to avoid that mistake. We've seen Carlton, high-profile figures leave refereeing prematurely. The latest one being Mark Clattenburg, and of course, before that, Howard Webb. Is that an alarming sign for you about the structure of PGMOL?
Yeah, well, it is an alarming a sign, but these people have been offered large sums of money to go and apply their talent elsewhere, and if everything's not okay, as we know it's not okay, and they've got a chance to make a difference somewhere else, and they're not being able to do that here, then they're looking at those other opportunities.
Yeah, it's a natural thing, I suppose, and nobody's going to turn down advances in pay on that scale.
No,
which is perhaps a challenge that the authorities here have got to meet. It's going to be a competitive world market for referees. That's coming, surely, isn't it?
Yeah, but even still, Alan, it's like I'm saying now. Where do you want to referee now? Do you want to go and referee in Kuwait or in Japan or China right now, or do you want to referee in the Premier League, in the Champions League, or whatever? It's not all about. For me, it's not all about the money. It's and if they feel that there's issues that need to be rectified within the system, we'll stay and help do that. They're our best referees, so obviously their input is very important.
Yeah, and you make a parallel there with players. I mean, some players going to choose to play under the radar almost. They might be getting a lot of money for it, but we don't hear anything about it.
Well, I mean, in anything that you do, when you finish, you want to your success is not denoted by how much money you have in the bank. If you actually are successful, you will have money in the bank, and you will have a lot of medals and a lot of plaudits, Clattenburg World Cups, European Championships. That's what we're in the business for. Not to, don't get me wrong. There's a balance. But I've always been taught as a player, if you're good enough, you'll earn your money, and that's the same as these top referees.
Yeah, it's difficult to put money in a bank in a personal scrapbook of memories, isn't it?
Correct.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Correct.
Yeah.
When you look back.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, it's not what we remember, how much we earn for a particular job. It's the occasion,
it is.
how the size of it, and how we perform.
Well, if you look at the players now, I mean, I understand at the end of their career, but if you're a young player now, I mean, I've been retired 14 years now, and when I'm watching the players coming out at Anfield, and you know, the Liverpool supporters start singing, and what makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. I don't start looking at my bank balance and see what I've got in my bank. I'm thinking, where's my boots?
Good point.
Where's my boots?
Well said. Yeah. And Roger's the same about refereeing.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Rejoin us for part 2.
You see, with soccer, everyone's the expert.
But always remember, there's only one ref.
And they don't get to become the real expert without advice from people who've seen it, done it,
And got the T-shirt.
from Little League
to the Premier League, from the Cowfield
to Anfield.
Soccer referees need to be at their best.
And that's what You Are the Ref is about.
Take a look at our website for exclusive content from our team of highly experienced former match officials.
Don't be an armchair expert. Join up today at youartheref.com.